Welcome to Beyond the Press Release, a production of Gorcom, in which we take the time to speak with small cap executives right after they put out important news. With us today, happy to have her back, Julia Frank, CEO of PlantX Life, trades on the CSE under the stock symbol VEGA, great stock symbol, and in Europe on Frankfurt under WNT1. Now, for those of you who are new to the story, look, you got to know that the paradigm shifting, parabolic growth of plant-based foods and plant-based life is unstoppable. In a recent Forbes article that said the plant-based food market alone is going to grow to over $74 billion in the next few years. PlantX Life is the one-stop shop for everything plant-based and the digital face of the plant-based community. Now, that sounds like lip service, but they're already engaging in meal delivery. They've got 20 meals to choose from, plant-based products, plant-based pet foods, restaurant locator, and even plant-based plants. Yeah, believe it or not, it's a massive market. More than just lip service. They're already operating in Canada. Their US online operations are kicking off with a $25 million minimum purchase of PlantX products in year one with their partner. And all sales on that have a 6% royalty fee to PlantX in the USA. That's how well they're doing. Their US bricks and mortar side is going to launch in San Diego very soon. And they've just announced an agreement with a major construction company to build not just that store, but franchises potentially across North America. And they just announced the €8 million acquisition of Bloombox in the UK. Here to talk about all that is Julia. Welcome to the show.
Hi, George. Thanks again for having me. I'm extremely excited to talk to you and to our shareholders. Thanks again.
Hey, you're welcome. Given the fact what your company is achieving with you at the helm as CEO, we have to have you on here. Before we go into some of the specifics about the announcements you've made recently, talk to us, because you've got your thumb on the industry much better than we do. You got the visibility. How big is the global plant-based foods, plant-based everything movement in general? I'm not talking about specific data, but what are you seeing out there in terms of the movement towards a plant-based life?
Yeah, I mean, as you briefly mentioned in your introduction, the plant-based industry is extremely growing, and I actually see the whole food industry is changing towards healthier nutrition. And especially during these times of a pandemic, everyone wants to be healthy and take care of what they put into their body. And yeah, that's why I see a great potential for PlantX, and we want to become the #1 e-commerce platform for plant-based products.
Yeah, and I'm seeing the same trend as you are, but it's always great to hear it straight from you because, you, like I said, you got much better visibility than the rest of us. So in an effort to, become the plant-based platform, you've even begun to sell plants. And I got to tell you, every time I think about plant-based, I think about plant-based foods, plant-based snacks, those kind of things. It's plants. So two things you've done: an acquisition, major one, €8 million of Bloombox Club in the UK, and a partnership with the Houseplant Shop. Let's talk about the strategic value of each, why you've entered these relationships and where you want to go with them.
Yeah, I mean, actually, we believe that the indoor plant market will be an important growth market for PlantX, and believe it or not, but the houseplant sales increased by 50% in the past 3 years in the US. And also really, really interesting, I don't know if you knew that, but scientific research has shown that houseplants reduce stress levels, they increase productivity, and yeah, they boost well-being. And I think especially during the pandemic at the moment, it should be our #1 goal to provide well-being, either by plant-based food, what we offer on our platform, but also plants for the home to our customers. And that's why we strongly believe that it's a right strategic move to also introduce plants. And yeah, we are super excited about our new partnership with the Houseplant Shop. They started, I think, in 2017 as a small operation, actually in a house. And they have provided an accessible and affordable solution for customers to purchase houseplants online. And yeah, in just like 3 years, they grew into a well-equipped greenhouse in Southern California. And today, Houseplant Shop supplies several large e-commerce companies.
You wouldn't think that plants, indoor plants themselves, are a growth market. I think we all kind of take it for granted, but when you really think about it, the rapid urbanization of the world means that people are moving out of rural, much more out of rural into urban, where they don't have green around them. So you would think, and I have heard those kind of numbers about how they increase the psychological wellness and mental health of people. So yeah, at first when I saw the acquisition and the partnership with that plants, I didn't realize that was such a big business, but clearly it is. Bloombox Club, they're hitting some big numbers. They're doing millions in revenue and growing. So what's their strategic value there? Is it, because I'm thinking it's not just the plant revenue, which is fantastic. That's a great business. But do you think that opens doors to your other plant-based products because you've got that massive database that you can now push, plant-based snacks, foods, pet foods, all those things through?
I mean, actually, the overall strategy of that acquisition is that it will definitely help us to execute on the international expansion strategy. So actually, Bloombox Club was founded by Dr. Katie Cooper. And I think her background is also really interesting. She's a psychologist and introduced plants into her therapeutic practice. And as I mentioned before, she also realized that her patients feel much better when they are surrounded by plants. So that's actually how she got the idea to start the plant company, which I found really, really cool. And yeah, the company is based in the United Kingdom, and she sells and delivers like extremely successfully indoor plants via a subscription service and an online shop. And so what we will do is like Bloombox Club will continue to operate as a subsidiary of PlantX. And together as a strong union, we plan to accelerate the expansion into Netherlands, Germany, and the rest of Europe, because Bloombox, like I mentioned before, is already based in the UK. And Katie and her team, they have an amazing expertise in Europe. And also, since they have an amazing expertise, especially in the plant field, they can also help us to further grow in the North American market. So for us, it's actually a win-win situation.
Switching gears a little bit, recently you also announced a partnership with Le Marche Tao Natural Food Stores. And I guess the purpose there is for launching your own private label products. Are you guys taking a page out of the Amazon playbook with this move?
Well, I mean, we strongly believe that that private label products will be an important growth segment for PlantX. And according to an actual research, the global private label food and beverage market is expected to grow by, I think, like 250 billion during the next 4 years. So we looked into that, obviously, and for us, Tao is the perfect partner. It's a company that shares the same values for health and quality. So do we, obviously, and also they're extremely experienced. I think they have been founded in 1976, so you can imagine they have a great expertise in that market, and they offer high quality organic products. And the products don't contain any artificial colors, chemical
ingredients. Yeah.
Exactly. And all products are ethically sourced with a low carbon footprint in mind. And these are exactly the values that we stand for. So for us, it's a perfect partner.
And I have to admit, I also think it's a smart move, because as plant-based foods just start really moving into the masses, I think they've passed a hurdle now, and they're really at the very beginning stages of making their way into the mass market. I don't know of any brand So it makes sense for you guys to start your own private label products with the PlantX brand, because there's a real opportunity there to potentially win the attention of consumers like me who don't know brands. I see PlantX somewhere and say, all right, I see it more and more, and I figure, okay, that's a brand I want to trust. So I think very, very smart move. It seems like PlantX also continues to expand its category vertical on almost a weekly basis. So now you're in the pet food space. That kind of makes sense to me, because I know how much people love their pets. But what are you seeing? Why are you guys making the move into the pet food space?
Yeah, with our new partnership, we entered actually a 38.4 billion US dollar pet food industry in North America. I think it's incredible. So obviously, we also jump on that market, and as you said, everyone loves their pets, and yeah, plant-based pet food is actually a big thing. And as you said, we implement new category verticals almost on a weekly basis, and our team is just amazing and works extremely hard to offer our customers what they want, and therefore we can offer them a very wide selection, which is extremely important to me.
And now you can see the strategy, right? You got the plant-based foods, that's the obvious one. Then the indoor plants. Now the plant-based pet food. So it just makes sense. You've got George, the customer, you might as well add on other verticals. I love the strategy. Last question I have for you. Big news this week. McDonald's announced the McPlant burger. It's obvious to me, but what does this tell you? What does this say to you about someone like McDonald's adopting plant-based foods?
Well, I think McDonald's is one of the companies that already understood that plant-based food is the future, and not just a temporary trend, as some people might say. It's definitely not just a temporary not just a temporary trend. Also, it shows that obviously there is a high demand. Otherwise, such a numbers driven company like McDonald's would never do that. Also, I gotta say, I'm based in Germany, in Berlin, and I'm really amazed and really happy to see how many new plant-based restaurants and stores and delivery services, even during these like pandemic times, open up here. So it really shows that there is in general a high demand, and like I said in the beginning, like people really think about what they put into their body. And yeah, the plant-based market and its potential is huge. And yeah, I can't wait to build up PlantX and yeah, to make it the #1 plant-based e-commerce platform.
I know I said that was my last question, but one more very quick question. Have you tried your plant-based chocolate? Because that's my weakness. How good is your plant-based chocolate?
Oh my God, it's amazing. I mean, and the feedback that we get from customers, like everyone loves it. So did you get the chance to try it yet?
I haven't, but I absolutely will. I absolutely will. And for everyone at home, highly recommend it. You can see right over Julia's head the URL, plantx.com. Go there, take a look at everything. I've tried plant-based foods. I'm a Greek meat-eating, meat and potatoes guy, and I loved it. And I know I'm going to order a lot more, and I think you should all give it a shot. Julia, thanks so much for joining us today. Great updates across the board, acquisitions, partnerships, expansion to new verticals. Great news for the plant-based food industry with McDonald's. Congratulations, and can't wait to have you on again next time.
Thank you so much for having me again, and take care and stay healthy.
You've been watching or you've been listening by podcast to Julia Frank. She's CEO of PlantX Life that trades on the CSC under the stock symbol VEGA. And for our friends in Europe, you can look at it on Frankfurt under the stock symbol WNT1. We know it's a brand new industry, so get to the PlantX hub on Agoracom. Take a look at the profile section. We've laid it all out nicely for you to understand and follow, because there's a lot to absorb here. But like I said, the outcome, Forbes says that just the plant-based food market, just that part alone, is going to be $75 billion next few years. Forget about pet food space, indoor plants, and everything else that PlantX is focusing on. So do your due diligence. Don't say we didn't tell you so, and hopefully you discovered your next great small cap company. Have a great day. See you next time.